Joining me now is Northern Mariana Islands Congresswoman Kimberly King-Hinds. Congresswoman, thanks very much for being here today. Can you give us a sense of what went down last week as Congress did avoid that government shutdown and now pivots to work on the reconciliation package?
Well, Maria, first of all, shout out to Speaker Mike Johnson for rallying the team to get behind passing the CR. You know, coming from the territories where all too often our voices are unheard, one of the things that the House leadership has done was to reach out and to address a lot of the different, concerns that the members raised. And when you're trying to rally the troops and get over 200 people to commit to vote to the CR and to be able to keep the government open is an incredible feat. And, we look forward to continuing the work now that we've done the CR to be able to deliver on the president's agenda and passing that one big, beautiful bill.
And how much confidence do you have that you'll be able to get the tax extensions in there? And do you agree that you could actually have something on the president's desk by the middle of May or June?
All I can say is that this Republican conference, the House leadership is very laser focused on having these conversations with different members, addressing their concerns, and coming from the territories. They have welcomed me with open arms. They've been very inclusive with regards to having these conversations to ensure that our voices are heard out here. And, speaking to other members, they're all committed to be able to deliver on what the president's agenda is asking for.
Well, meanwhile, there's this progressive group, Indivisible, and they're calling on Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer to step down. After he went along with Republicans, he flip-flopped, of course, and then ultimately supported the GOP-led funding bill to avert a shutdown. Democrats held a retreat in Virginia over the weekend, and there were some furious members reportedly suggesting that New York Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez should challenge Schumer for his seat. Primary Schumer, Congresswoman, what do you think?
Well, the job of a leader, of any leader, is to rally the team to get behind a vision. And the vision of this administration is to, bring in a new golden age of America. And I come from a territory that's hungry for success, hungry for prosperity. And I'm looking forward to working with the Republican conference and President Trump to be able to deliver the prosperity that the people out here in the Marianas are longing for.
Well, look, you're on the House Small Business Committee, and I know that you're planning to work with Administrator Kelly Loeffler. She joined me last week to talk to us about how she is actually modernizing and restoring credibility to the Small Business Administration. Here's Kelly Loeffler with me last week. Watch.
So what we're going to do is get out and starting in Indiana next week, start rolling out our initiative to support small manufacturers. It's bringing strength to our heartland and ensuring that we're not strangled in red tape. And I have announced a fraud task force and a fraud czar. Maria, these criminals have to be held accountable. Up to $200 billion is owed back to taxpayers. The SBA is moving out of sanctuary cities. We are making sure that none of our services go to illegal aliens, and we're cracking down on Biden-era fraud that really that administration facilitated.
Congresswoman, how are you planning to work with Kelly Loeffler?
Well, we had the privilege and pleasure of actually being able to have a conversation with Administrator Loeffler, and she's absolutely right in terms of some of these reforms that we need to do. And in a lot of these hearings that we've been having, we've been hearing from these small businesses how these regulations are too burdensome, and too often they're spending their time and effort and energy on filling out paperwork instead of using that time to be able to grow their businesses and use those resources to be able to, pay better wages for their workers. And so, the committee is ready to work to be able to deliver on some of these initiatives and many other more to be able to advance, what it is that we're trying to do, which is make America great again.
Yeah, Congresswoman, you're also on the Transportation Committee, and Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy toured a Boeing facility in Washington State last week. He says the FAA will not allow the 737 MAX jet production cap of 38 planes per month to change. He says the administration is keeping a close eye on safety standards. Watch this.
When you breach the trust of the American people with that safety and with your manufacturing, we're gonna put the screws to you to make sure you change your ways and start doing things right.
David Tallow, jump in here on Boeing. The company saw 2 fatal crashes in 2018 and 19 and a mid-air emergency earlier this year.
Yeah, I mean, from an investment standpoint, look, I think that the company is in the process of a turnaround. I've been in turnarounds my entire professional career. And in this case, we've seen a change in leadership, A. B, the company is looking to go ahead and jettison non-core businesses, which it's currently in the midst of. And then finally, this is a company that's too big to fail for the United States. We don't have an alternative to Boeing in this country, and it's clearly important to be involved in the aerospace industry dead center. So therefore, this company is going to go ahead and succeed over the long term.
Congresswoman, your thoughts real quick?
Hey, coming from an island, right, air transportation is our primary mode of transportation, and I do agree that I do agree with the secretary that there's oversight that needs to be done, and we're looking forward to working with him on many other issues as it relates to aircraft safety and other issues affecting the FAA.
Congresswoman, thank you for being here. Kimberlyn King-Hinds joining us this morning. Mariana Islands, stay with us. We'll be right back.